Football League. Big anniversary for the Red Blacks against the first team they ever faced, Winnipeg. And Maddie, the biggest storyline has to be at Ottawa's quarterback, Drew Brown. First game with the Red Blacks up against his old team.
Yeah, and Drew comes over, highly touted, and he's only thrown a little over 150 passes in his career. It's mind-blowing how much weight has been put on this kid's shoulders, and they're looking for a guy that takes care of the football, and they're going to get that in Drew Brown because he does not turn the football over. Winnipeg's hope they can force him to make a few mistakes tonight. But I tell you, Drew Brown is that kind of kid that just takes care of the football and exudes confidence from his teammates. And on the other hand, this is his mentor, Zach Collaros. If you're going to be seasoned, might as well be seasoned in the kitchen with Zach Collaros as your teacher. And Zach really is unprecedented what he's done in Winnipeg. 39-9 over the regular season in his time there.
And like the Red Blacks, Mike O'Shea celebrating his 10th anniversary as the head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. His second ever win came in Ottawa's first game. Bob Dice, his second full season as head coach, but he has been with the organization since back in 2016, 8 of the 10 years. Winnipeg won the toss and deferred. Ottawa will take the ball first, and there he is, Devontae Dedmon. The panel talked about it. He's looking like the form of 2019 and 21 when he was such a danger returning kicks. Ottawa's season opener, season number 10 in the hands of Dedmon, across the 30 and across the 40. And finally, taken down Suleiman Karamoka on a tackle on special teams for Winnipeg. So here comes Drew Brown up against his old club.
Right, already patting heads and getting in the face, and yeah, Nichols, and guy that he's going to be picking on probably most of the evening. But I tell you, this is exciting time. Heart rate's going a little crazy right now for number 3 out there, and let's get this party started.
Remember, another addition on offense, a key free agent signing, Dominic Grimes, who had some great seasons in BC, and with Ottawa before that in 2019. They're on the ground to begin. Braylon Addison takes the handoff out of the backfield, has a good carry. We had wondered what Ottawa will do at running back. A 12-yard carry for a guy who's normally a slot back, Braylon Addison.
Yeah, and just watch the big hole over here. It opens up, and Braylon Addison, he's used to doing this. Did it in university, did it in high school. Heck, he was a quarterback in high school. He did this quite often in his best year in the CFL. 218 yards and 36 carries for Hamilton and a touchdown. So he's used to getting the ball in many different ways.
Now Reichwald Armstead, the running back. A play fake to him for Brown, his first pass with the Red Blacks. And it's nearly caught. Jalen Acklin went up for it. Tyrell Ford came in and made contact just as the ball arrived, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, field side corner, and Jalen Acklin is just kind of waiting. Yes, it's a long throw, but you got to get it out. He center field turns forward, and Ford gets there late and disrupts the ball right there. He gets his right arm across into it. Acklin can't haul it in. Big play missed opportunity when they had the young corner turned around.
So a 2nd and 10 now. Armstead remains in the backfield. Ball just inside Bomber territory. Some movement from Adam Bighill up at the line. Flag comes out, and it's caught by Addison. Second touch of this game, his first catch. And if this is against Winnipeg, it is a big first down coming up for Ottawa.
Yeah, I think it is, too. And this is not a good sign for Winnipeg. Haba down there on the field grabbing his knee. And
offside, Winnipeg, number 5. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Talk about a quick learner. You know, I talked about the ball being late to Acklin on the deep corner the play before, and this time it's a tighter window. Ball's out with timing. It's perfectly thrown. He's going to look to his left, kind of staring it down, but boy, he had options. Throws a dime into Addison. That's good chemistry right away.
And they call Willie Jefferson on the offside, but it's Celestin Haba, the injured member of the Bombers, still down on the field. We'll take a break and be back at TD Place in a moment. Haba injured in the last play, which was a 30-yard gain by Ottawa to get them down deep in the Bombers zone, as Haba limps off and heads to the dressing room. Drew Brown, something to work with here. Taking the handoff and swinging it out to Justin Hardy. Gets inside the 20 and a good gain on first down. Let's have another look, Matty, at what happened to Celestin Haba.
Yeah, I'm going to highlight him here at the bottom of your screen. It's a non-contact injury when he goes up against Bull here. And right there, it looks like he just twists it, torques it a little bit, and then he's grabbing it right away, and that's typically not a good sign. So already a team that's banged up with injuries coming into this football game, looking for the first win on the road against the fired-up Ottawa REDBLACKS team. They're down another man on the defensive side of the ball.
Good spot taken by 94, Devin Adams for Winnipeg. 2nd and 2 after that 8-yard pickup by Hardy. Drew Brown looking sharp early on, handing off, running play, and it is the aforementioned Raquel Armstead, new running back for the REDBLACKS, who was enough to pick up the first down.
Yeah, Raquel, 6'1", 225 pounds up front. You're going to have these boys trying to clear the way for him. We just talked about Bull being knotted up with Haba, and he's obviously earned that right tackle spot, which is kind of up in the air. You got Rhymes and Armstead just carried the football there. Big, good-looking running back. Questionable coming this game. Looked pretty good on that last play. Rhymes, money receiver. He talked to Drew Brown, says he's never had one like Dominic Rhymes.
1st and goal right at the 10 with time. Brown. A short pass, and it's popped out right away on contact. Adam Bighill back in the lineup after missing the opener last week with a big defensive play, Winnipeg.
Yeah, and you start with Willie. You don't hear many broadcasters say there were 0 stats for Willie in a game, and there were 0 stats for Willie in last week's game. I expect him to have a bounce-back game. Guy that wasn't there, Adam Bighill, their leader. We'll talk about him all night. Saw him there, and a couple of youngins on the corner. Now, if I'm Drew Brown out there, I'm looking at those guys all day long, testing to see what they're made of.
Terrell Bonds and Tyrell Ford on the corners. Alouettes tested them last week. 2nd and goal, and flags again with the movement at the line of scrimmage and into the end zone. A flag out, as mentioned. Tyrell Ford on the coverage there. Sort this out. We saw movement up at the line of scrimmage just as the ball was snapped as well.
Offside. Winnipeg, number 90. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
Well, Miles Fox is flagged. 2nd offside penalty by the Bombers on this drive. So 2nd down and goal from the 5.
Yeah, I love how he's changing the cadence here, particularly on 2nd down. And he gets Winnipeg. He's chomping at the bit to get to him. And there he's just staring down a receiver. And watch his eyes. He's just staring down that receiver to the right side. He's going to get himself in trouble there if he's not careful, because I've seen him do that in his first drive in the football game, but to no avail. He's knocking on the door.
Looking for a touchdown here in their opening drive of 2024 REDBLACKS. 2nd down and goal with time. Brown flushed out, being chased by Fox, and he is forced to just get rid of it, and he takes a pop too. Retta Cramdy, the coverage linebacker, coming in as well on Brown as Fox was chasing too, and Cramdy with a hit on Brown.
And you know, this is one of those situations where, yeah, he's trying to figure it out. As a young quarterback, I'm telling you, been there. You get inside the red zone, it seems like that end zone, yeah, it's deep, but you can't find it on a regular basis. And holds true for Drew Brown, knocking at the door. Almost throws that away and takes points off the board. Give Lewis Ward a chance here.
12-yard chip shot, Lewis Ward. One of the most accurate kickers in the history of the CFL. And he gets Ottawa on the board. They take the ball, they drive down the field, they get in the red zone, they come up with 3. So over to you, Zach Collaros, for game 2 for Winnipeg. Bomber football we've become used to over the last few years. This from their opener last week against Montreal. 3 turnovers, this on a botched punt return that led to a Tyson Philpott touchdown. Fumbled there by Myron Mitchell, and then taking points off the board when Marc-Antoine Dequoy had the pick off Collaros, and then Nick Dembski, Matty, with a good gain on this play, but ends up coughing up the football, leading to Montreal points.
Yeah, you lose a turnover battle, typically that's going to cost you ball games, and it did the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at home against a very determined Montreal Alouettes team. It was a little slighted in having to travel across the country to play their nemesis in Winnipeg, a team they had beat just previously 6 months in the Grey Cup. And Zach Collaros finds an easy completion to Dembski there. And love this, you know. Why not settle the team down, move the chains, get some momentum going. I looked at the start there after that field goal, the 40-yard line. Ask any quarterback in the league, give me 40-yard line to start. I can smell the goal line. You know, it's good field position. Now he's right at midfield, and nice little rhythm already.
Yeah, aimed of course to getting the offenses going. That's a 15-yard pickup by Drew Wolatarski, his first catch of this game. Johnny Augustine in at running back for the injured Brady Oliveira. Injured last week and had a difficult training camp with a knee injury. So here's a look at Winnipeg's offense to start things off.
Got to start up front, because this is the calling card for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. You lose two big ones in Gray and Hardrick, and you fill them with Loft and Dobson. Not too bad replacements right there. They'll be under the gun all season long to produce. You got Lawler out of the ball game, broken wrist or arm, and Wheatfall. They talk. High praise comes from this kid. Tall receiver, makes some crazy catches. They like what they see in that young man, number 88. We'll see tonight.
Goes out wide to the left in the 2nd and 5 with time. And it's high and it's deflected. And the last to touch it was Money Hunter. It hits the turf. It's incomplete. The ball at the Red Blacks 50, and it's 3rd down Winnipeg.
Yeah, right here. And Zach, just a little high, you know, a little pressure, I think, in his lap. Good break on the ball. Ball's high, and then he can't pull it down. And 2nd and 5, you know that Zach Collaros is as accurate as any quarterback in the league. Maybe a little nerves there early.
So the Aussie Jamison Sheehan is in for his first punt of this game. Devontae Dedmon, one of 2 back for the Red Blacks. As Sheehan sends it his way. Placed down right at the 10. Well-placed punt by Sheehan as Dedmon had nowhere to go. Good coverage.
He's jacked up too, Rod. He's just running down there. Just love it.
They sure are. And nowhere to run there for Dedmon. So Drew Brown coming back on now. Good first possession for Ottawa's offense as they drove down in a short field goal for Lewis Ward. So Drew Brown, 9 touchdown passes, none intercepted last year, backing up Zach Collaros, and that included a big comeback in Edmonton. After Collaros got hurt, they were down 22 against the Elks, came back and won that game. Ottawa starting after 11. Brown settles in. Off to the left, it's caught. Open receiver, and that's Jalen Ackland with his first catch of 2024.
Yeah, Jalen just runs a beautiful route, and this is a well-timed throw. Top of the screen right here. Watch Jalen do his thing. Kind of an off year last year, but you can understand he was playing with a rookie quarterback. He's playing with another one here, basically, what's the word for that? Groomed in Winnipeg for 3 years, and coming here and throwing balls on timing. And I know Ackland is looking to establish a rapport with that young quarterback.
Tutored, groomed, got all right.
I might have said tutored.
Breaking through is Armstead. In a pile, it looked like he'd be down. And Raquel Armstead, new Red Black, at his biggest carry, a pickup of 31 for Raquel Armstead.
Yeah, so fitting that Henry Burris is honored here tonight. And where did Raquel go to school? Temple.
Temple Owls.
That's right, just where Henry went. And we wrote the record books there, and he just keeps the legs churning. As Alexander, he's usually tough as nails, and bringing a hammer, kind of ducks his head, and they call him the Rock, and he looked like a rock right there as the Rock breaks loose, and down the sidelines he goes. He gets enough and gets out of bounds.
Across midfield on that first down, and a toss this time to Armstead. And not much there coming in is Adam Bighill, one of the great tacklers in the history of the Canadian Football League, and making sure Armstead doesn't break free that time.
A lot of doubters there probably, you know, and Adam let that fuel him in the offseason. He's probably bent because he couldn't play last week. And it looks like he's taking his frustration out on the running back here, because he scraped with them and came in there like a heat-seeking missile, just with bad intentions. And nice tackling.
Ottawa was set at running back with Devontae Williams, went over for 1,000 last year, but suffered a torn Achilles back in mid-April. So he's out long-term. Opportunity for Armstead now. 2nd and 11 after that loss. Pressure coming. Devin Adams in after the injury to Celestin Haba. Rotates in, and he gets some heat on, and a big sack for Winnipeg.
Yeah. No Haba, no problem right here. 2-point stance. Just kind of comes up underneath. Yes, sir, unabated, basically. Desjardins couldn't get a hand on him and basically turnstiled him. And Drew says, well, that's not good. It didn't happen in Winnipeg very often.
Miles Mitchell be back. Richie Leone standing back at his 30 for his first punt of the season. As the new returner for Winnipeg, Mitchell takes it inside the 20. Breaking out to the right, but he can't. Red Blacks have it all covered up after a punt of 48 yards. Devin Adams, New to the Bombers, one of the newcomers, Peru State College, his rookie year and his first CFL sack. Here at Guelph and getting the chance to start with the injury to Brady Oliveira.
Yeah, just looking for some touches. You know, we know this guy can do it. He averages, you see it right there, 5.8 yards a carry. I think he's been outstanding. He's been waiting his turn, and now he's got his opportunity staring him right in the face. University of Guelph product just chomping at the bit to take the reins and make the injury to Brady Oliveira seem like a thing in the past.
Augustine scored Winnipeg's only touchdown against the Alouettes last week in their opener, late in the game, faking to him. Claris gets a little bit of help as he rolls out, throws it deep too. He wants Carrick Wheatfall, who Matt talked about. DeAndre Lamont is with him. An explosive receiver. They really like him, and he is standing in for Kenny Lawler after he got hurt last week.
Yeah, they talk about him in practice, making all kinds of catches, but it's different out here. I mean, he's got all the intangibles and the measurables that you look for. Just now coming out here and bringing it all together. So, a lot of hope for number 1 there in your picture, number 88 on the field, the Bomber uniform, and he's got some big shoes to fill, as does Johnny Augustine.
So second and down, second and 10 now, and off to the right, it's caught. Oh, no, it's not. I think Drew Wolotarski thought he had it. He went to turn and get that first down, and instead it falls to the turf.
It's one of those situations, Rod, where guys are trying too hard. And, you know, we've seen this in week 1, quite a few drops around the league. But this is, you got to do the routine things routinely. And that's catch the ball, as Milt would say, with your eyes, and then go do your business. And there you see him not looking all the way in, and that's a routine play he's got to make routinely. Then you make the tough ones look routine.
First thing I thought of, too, speaking of Bomber receivers, the great Milt Stegall, he used to say that.
Well, you know, just...
How do you catch a ball?
Yeah, I mean, Milt's got so much knowledge about that position, and, you know, it's pretty simple when it comes down to basics. You didn't see him there.
Wolotarski just wanted to turn it up. He had some space ahead. So a little rain starting to fall here at TD Place. In the hands of Devontae Dedman. Oh, here he goes. Just tiptoeing down the sideline. He cuts it back into space. And Devontae Dedman, the 2024 edition, has a big return to set up the Red Blacks in the Bomber zone. Dedman. He had a preseason return touchdown. Another one called back. That's a 48-yarder for the Red Blacks, who have the lead.
He was very kind and engaging towards everybody in the suite, guys.
Wow. I remember watching that, Claire, and I can tell you, I'm screaming at the, I'm going, what the hell? Look at Zach. You know, like, and look at the guy without a shirt. Oh, wait a minute. That's Travis's brother.
There was a horse collar tackle penalty that's moved Ottawa inside the Winnipeg 15 now. So penalties helping the Red Blacks out too. Armstead, the big run, previous drive at 31. Well, Claire, she's a self-confessed Swiftie herself. This is Claire. Recently, you didn't know we were going to do this, did you, Claire? In Lisbon.
What are you doing?
There you are at a Taylor Swift concert, and I bet you enjoyed yourself.
Loved it. I loved it, you guys. She's the best, okay?
Still recuperating, I understand, Claire.
The voice.
You're obviously not alone in that assessment, too, of Taylor Swift.
So much for your weather predictions, too, Claire, and your hopefulness.
Oh, yeah, it's starting to pour, and Claire's got to find a way to stay dry. Get that umbrella up. 2nd and 3, Winnipeg 7. Ottawa in business again, and it's Armstead. That time, not much. He gets down to about the 5, so we get another...
Short.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be short. An interesting decision coming up for Bob Dice, assuming that's the case.
You know, if they can go for this, pick it up, a touchdown would be immense for this football team to put Winnipeg down 10 as opposed to 6-0.
Matty, you well know, one of the problems with the Red Blacks, among many the last couple of years, was picking up field goals when they could have had touchdowns.
That's why I bring it up, because, you know, Red Black fans are a little tired of watching Lewis Ward do his thing, and granted, he does it as well as anybody, but well, you'd like to have 6 as opposed to 3.
That's a long 1 yard too. That's one and maybe a foot more than that. Yeah.
From the gun.
Yeah, and from the gun they go here from the Winnipeg 5. 3rd down, handing off, first down. They run it. They get the first down. It'll be first and goal, and it's Raquel Armstead having a busy introduction to the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
That's impressive. You got Boyd, Desjardins, Hogan Sandin, Sandid, Bladdock, and Bull from the gun. And the 6'1", 225-pound back just gets a head of steam going and says, yeah, bring it. And he trucks a few people. The Rock is doing his thing. Boy, Bobby loves that.
And Dustin Crum is in now. Short yardage quarterback this year. The backup, Crum, gets a little bit closer. Still no signal. Not in. It'll be second down coming up at the 1.
Yeah, so they go from the gun. They spread them out, take the regular splits, and now they get closer to the goal line. They go soul to soul, heel to heel, and they bunch everybody up in the middle. And it's tough sledding for Crum doing his thing down there. And remember, if you're not here, I'm telling you, it's pretty wet down there right now, and that ball security is going to be paramount right here.
Dustin Crum started the majority of games at quarterback for the REDBLACKS last year, even though he started the season number 4 in the depth. He had 9 rushing touchdowns, including a big one in overtime to beat Winnipeg. And the big comeback, or Crumback, if you will. Here he is, second and goal! Touchdown, Ottawa REDBLACKS. Drew Brown drove him down. Crum finishes it off, and a much-needed major score for the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
It wasn't much of a drive. It was aided by a horse collar on the return by Dedman, which was 48 yards, and then a pickup on short yardage after a completion, and then bang. Second time's a charm, going over the left side. Desjardins and Boyd. Looks like that's where Crum and company think the weakness is, and they attacked it twice in a row, finding pay dirt on the second time around.
Dustin Crum in his second year out of Kent State. And so Lewis Ward is on. He said there were many times, as he puts that through, many times in the previous couple of years where Ottawa, and as you say, that one abated by a big return and penalty, but would get close and not get the touchdown. This time they do.
Yeah, just who wants it the most here. Get lower, root him out. You see Biggie getting there a little bit late. Crumback had already had a little momentum. There's the ISO on Biggie, just chomping at the bit to lay wood on somebody, and Dustin Crum had already done the damage, and Drew Brown celebrating, knowing how big that touchdown is. Really, you just can't afford to score threes when you get that field position. Your top-notch returner, Dedman, takes it back 48. You get 15 added on to that. Look, at the end of the day, that needed to happen, and it did for the REDBLACKS, and the crowd here loves it.
A 5-play, 27-yard drive in just over 3 minutes. And Ottawa with a 2-score lead now on the defending 4-time West Division champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers. As Chris Ike, the rookie, will be back for the return along with Myron Mitchell. And the kick here, Richie Leone. And that comes to Mitchell at the 20. Still on his feet. Eventually they get him. No further than the 25. Well, I talked, Matty, about Dustin Crum, and it was his first CFL start last July. They trailed by 16 points late in the game. Cue the comeback by Crum.
Yeah, Bahar, a little push out, not called. Big play, big time play. And then this run, just running over people and won't be denied. Overtime, pulls it down again. Red Sea parts in the middle, and Crum says, I'll take that. Just incredible comeback. And Bobby Dice, I think it was incredible he didn't pull a hamstring in a celebration.
Yeah, they won the next week in overtime in Calgary. That was a high point for their season. They only won 4 games all year, but they won't forget that.
Did you see Kerry Joseph there? Just shout out to Kerry. He's going in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this year. Yeah.
And he was the one in terms of Ottawa football history who had spearheaded the biggest comeback, but they won't forget that one that Crum led down by 16 points, needing 2 touchdowns.
So look at all 3 quarterbacks there.
2 2-point conversions.
That's the Crumback kid right there. That's the new guy Brown, and that's
Jake Dunaway.
Yeah, Dunaway. I mean, this guy, all he's ever done, the 13 guy, you don't even know who he is. He's won at every level. Just been incredible. So they got some young talent, Red-Black QBs. Got some hope here going on in the first quarter.
It's a 2nd and 7 for Winnipeg for their 30. Colares off to the left. It is caught. No, it's not. Dropped again. Ontario Wilson New receiver for the Bombers. Had it in there, but couldn't hang on. So quickly a 2 and out for the Bombers. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, Zach really gets through this throw nicely, puts a lot of zip on it. He's going to his left, our right, as you watch this. He sees him, then bam, ball's out on the money. I think that was more the defender there. I think that was Labonte. Yeah, he got in there, stripped the ball. It's a good defensive play. Bang, bang play. Got the hands in there. Wet ball comes out.
Jamison Sheehan. Dedman running in at the big return last time. Takes it on the run. Gets it up at midfield. A flag out. But Drew Brown, first game as Red Black QB, and here's the confidence his head coach Bob Dice has in him.
He's a football 24/7 type guy, and because he puts that much in, he expects the same of his teammates, and guys realize that, and guys feed off that. So he's endeared himself in his teammates, and, you know, with his play as well. You know, his handling of the playbook. I know in the offseason, talking to Coach Condell had almost had to get him to back off a little bit so he could have some free time, and but that's how much it means to Drew.
Getting the opportunity, learned a lot from Zach Collaros from his years in Winnipeg as well.
Yeah, no question. You got Buck Pierce in that quarterback room there in Winnipeg. You learned that from 3 years from there. You come into Tommy Condell, and you talk to Coach Bobby Dice. You heard him talk about his quarterback. He talks about his offensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, Tommy Condell, and says he's a great communicator. So you got a guy that lives there and breathes it, and you got a coach that can communicate the way Tommy does, and good things are going to happen.
And who had worked with Tommy Condell early in his career with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Right.
When he'd been filling in for Ricky Ray and got his shot back in 2014, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's a lot of overlap, and the trees kind of intertwined here in the Canadian Football League, and you have influences in many different ways, and that's a perfect example.
They initially had called no yards. They took a review and decided it wasn't no yards. So right at midfield, the Red Blacks with a 10-point lead. Back to work, Drew Brown, and the heat is on. And Brown taken down for the second time in this game. Willie Jefferson is in there. A loss of 10 yards.
Yeah, I think Willie's just going to a little stunt here. You know, you don't want to play the hole man. You want to get angles. And it's one of those things where this is the second time we see Drew Brown get a little heat in the kitchen, and going to have to see that do a better job up front. And Willie's just going to, I think he's going to fold back inside here and watch him do his thing. He's hotting around the outside.
And that is corner time. Kyrie Wilson in there with Willie Jefferson too. So good play by the Bomber D. But Winnipeg is down in this season opener for the Red Blacks, who lead at 10-0 for the first 15. Time of possession, the Red Blacks had the ball more than 2/3 of that first quarter, Matty.
Yeah, and I like what I see in Drew Brown, and he's been under pressure a couple times, sacked, but he's been a beneficiary of good field position, and I like a second down. He's going a little long count, and Drew Winnipeg offsides, got them a couple freebies there. Winnipeg has shot themselves in the foot a couple of times with some bad penalties, and he's took full advantage of it and got a big-time major down there from the gun, went to the young running back in Rock, and he got the first down, and then it was Dustin Crump from there. I like what I see with the Red Blacks. They can't afford to lean on Lewis Ward 24/7. They got to get the majors if they want to keep this Winnipeg Blue Bomber team guessing.
Making that third down gamble in close that much more significant, and leading to the Crump touchdown and a 10-0 lead. Second quarter begins in a 2nd and 20. Flags coming out with the snap of the ball.
Procedure, Ottawa number 65. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
Darius Bladek, the right guard, newcomer and one of the free agents signing on with Ottawa. That pushes them 5 more back, 2nd and 25.
Yeah, just had Kyrie Wilson just come right through his gap a while ago, get to his quarterback. And yeah, it's one of those things where you get a little itchy down there, right? You want to get a little jump start, even though you got a neutral zone of a yard there. These guys still know what they're dealing with. Athletes on the other side coming from all directions. 2nd
and 25, 4-man rush from the Ottawa 40. It is complete. Justin Hardy, nice move to cut back on Suleiman Karamoko. Great move, Hardy, as he got it a little bit closer on a second down and very long. It is still a punting, or excuse me, punting situation coming up. They're about 2 yards shy.
I mean, he's still going to enjoy it. I blew an ACL watching that from up here. What? I mean, he just gave it to him and took it away. Whoop! Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like a crossover in basketball. The Celtics are dominating the Mavs right now. It's just crazy to watch. Yeah, but good on Winnipeg, knowing the sticks. They rallied to the football and forced Leone to do his thing.
The 3rd and 13, or actually, yeah, 3rd and 13 still coming up, so not even close for Hardy. And Dietrich Nichols, for Mike O'Shea, a concern that another starting defensive player has an injury concern right now. Dietrich Nichols earlier, O'Shea losing Celestin Haba, starting defensive end.
Yeah.
So
already got a couple of young, wet behind the ear corners out there, and Bonds and Tyrell Ford. And there's a guy with 4 years of experience from South Florida, a guy that you can rely on week in, week out. You got Holmes and Alexander, your 2 veterans now in the back end for Winnipeg.
Richie Leone to punt. Myron Mitchell back for it. Just inside the 20, takes it off the hop. Nowhere to go. The door is closed for Mitchell as he barely gets it up close to the 25. So week 2 is starting tonight, and it continues tomorrow. In Edmonton, Cody Fajardo, big win for the defending Grey Cup champions last week in Winnipeg up against McLeod Bethel Thompson. Edmonton, for a while, looked in charge against Saskatchewan, but the Riders came back with a big victory. So the 1-0 Owls against the 0-1 Edmonton Elks. That's Friday Night Football, and that is tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time.
Turnovers cost the Elks last week, and boy, for about 5-6 minutes there in that 4th quarter, Saskatchewan said thank you very much. And down a bunch. Next thing you know, they're stealing one and taking one. Well, what a game Sean Payne had.
Claris, as you saw, is 2 for 6, throwing again to the right, and it's intercepted. A flag is out. It looked like it was in and out of the hands of Carrick Wheatfall, and then it is picked off by Ottawa.
Pass interference, Ottawa number 4. It's going to be first down for Winnipeg at the spot of the foul.
But Money Hunter is called for PI, so that negates the interception and a first down for Winnipeg.
Yeah, ball was a little bit underthrown as Wheatfall had gotten in behind Money Hunter, and then as Wheatfall went back to get it, Money Hunter made contact, and there's your call. And big interception by the Red Blacks is nullified by a little PI. So it's a good call, pretty easy call. You're going to watch the play on the ball, work hard back to it. He got there a little early. Pretty tight play, bang, bang, but enough to draw the...
Well,
and I think Bobby Dice thinks that there's enough there to challenge it, and why not? You know, that's a turnover there, good field position. I'd do the same thing.
big moment there with the challenge. It was Frankie Griffin coming back, making the interception. So Bob Dice does not think that was interference on Money Hunter. And if he's right, if he wins this challenge, then Ottawa with the lead would take over. There's a live look at the command center.
We gave the Ottawa coach additional information, which means that he can withdraw his flag. So there's no challenge flag. First down for Winnipeg.
I want to know that additional information.
Yeah.
And I think we need to know. But, yeah, I mean, I think that was a good challenge. I think it was a pretty close play there. Bang, bang, when the ball's a little underthrown. I really think that the young receiver, Wheatball, did a nice job of coming back to it, too.
I want to know how the command center feels, because they were about to go to work.
I
all
think
fired up, ready to... What's that?
I think they gave the official on the field the information. He gave that to Bobby and Dice, and he picked it up. Oh, here we go.
It's knocked at the line. It's picked off. Darius Pickett. So pressure, hands up at the line of scrimmage, and Pickett, new to the Red Blacks in his first game with Ottawa, and he has an interception.
Now Bobby's chirping the official even more on the sidelines. We got it anyway.
So an interception that was denied by penalty, and this time Zach Collaros with hands up knocks the ball up, and a Darius Pickett.
Field, 7-year player from Florida Atlantic comes inside here, gets his hands up. Zach Caleros, ball is tipped, and then it's a Darius Pickett, one of the new team captains, big offseason acquisition, comes up with his 3rd interception of his career. The football god's ready to ship there.
Darius Pickett with the Argos last year, Defensive Player of the Year with Montreal the year before that. And handing off Braylon Addison, another big carry. He had one in the first quarter. Not used to seeing him as a running back, but takes it out of the backfield and has another red-black first down, running the ball, a pickup of 19, close to the Winnipeg 30 at the 32-yard line.
Just coming across here and finding daylight and bouncing it, and he's untouched into the secondary. Bang, great read, presses the hole, bounces it, leaves him in his wake, stiff arm. He did that in high school, and it blows me away to have that kind of ability, and then to bring it to not the college level, but then the next level, and still do it years later.
He goes back to the slot. Devontae Dedmon started in the backfield, swings out to the right, and they screen it to Ackland, who's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Winnipeg had that read nicely in a loss of a couple of yards.
You catch that little hitch screen out there, and you're coming inside, and you're looking for the big boys to come inside out and peel off anybody. But then you look up, and you got 3 of these big boys, Jake Thomas, coming down at you. It's like, oh, this is not going to end well.
And it didn't. Loss of a yard.
Yeah, it's, you know, when they work, they're great. But, boy, oftentimes you're catching a lot of heat.
Ottawa ball, Winnipeg zone, 10-point Red Blacks lead in their season opener, starting their 10th season against the team it all started against, Winnipeg. 2nd and 11. It's caught down at the 20. That's caught by Justin Hardy and a first down, Ottawa.
I don't know. I mean, he's all alone in the zone down there. He just finds the soft spot. Watch him just sit down, and as he turns around, bang. He just finds that soft zone. Ball's fed right in there, and they're cooking with gas again inside the red zone. Good field position, couple solid plays. Run by Addison, Hardy getting involved, and new defensive coordinator Joe Younger wants his team to vote next.
Down to the 19, 1st and 10. Ottawa pressing for more. Little play fake.
Oh, nice feet.
And Brown steps out of the pocket, rolls to the right, and he wanted Hardy down inside the 5, and a flag has come out.
Yeah, a bunch of craps are going on down there by those offensive linemen when they miss their man, and then they just kind of hang on.
Ottawa number 65. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Darius Bladick getting flagged again on that one for the hold.
Yeah, he's right here. Sorry, Darius. You know, when that happens, we got to do this. And nice little rip move by Thomas. And I thought it was great feet by Brown to find that little hole, keep his eyes downfield, and he missed his receiver. But Bladick, he's trying out there, man, against a veteran and Thomas, and good battle going on in the trenches.
So it's a 1st and 20 back at the Bomber 29, 2nd quarter, 10 minutes on the clock until halftime. Over the middle, Adam Big Hill hits Jalen Ackland right away as soon as the ball arrives.
Yeah, read Drew Brown's mail that time. Says, thank you very much. I'm going to add to my tackle total, which is getting close to 900, which is crazy. But Ackland just running a little under route. Biggie tees him up. Got him in his crosshairs, and Jalen on this series has been jacked up a couple times by Bombers.
Career tackle 893, says our great stats man, John Perlberg.
Getting close, Johnny, getting close.
7 tackles away for one of the legends of the game, Adam Big Hill.
That's what Johnny does, man. Our guys are so good.
You bet. 2nd and 15. Bomber 24. Brown. Willie Jefferson can't get a hand on him. And Brown on the move and throws that one low for Dominic Rhymes, who's still looking for his first catch with the Red Blacks since coming back. Of course, he started his career with Ottawa.
Yeah, and a great move again by feet. Quarterbacks working this all the time in the offseason and their spare time, trying to work on this, keep their eyes downfield. And twice in a row, we've seen Drew Brown do this, buy some time, and then cross his body, a little unsure. He knows something in his brain says, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but he does it anyways, and he's probably kicking himself right there. Want to throw a pick down there, and oftentimes you throw across your body. that happens.
Ball spotted at the 31 for Richie Leone. Lewis Ward, who had a 12-yarder earlier, and he puts that one through. 3 more on the board. Red Blacks leading the Blacks, who had the bye in week 1. Let's go back to Claire.
Yeah, Rod, and you know what? For teams, it can be kind of strange starting the CFL season with a bye week, but Bob Dice told me it provided a huge opportunity for the Red Blacks to do some important team bonding. In fact, it was the players' idea to come here at TD Place and watch the Bombers take on Montreal in week 1. They were hooting and hollering while that game was happening. Bob Dice also brought in a retired Canadian Armed Forces colonel who spoke to the group about resilience, how to deal with adversity, and then the best part, the entire team, including equipment and medical staff, went bowling. Players were mixed into different groups. Mike Domagala had the highest score, but apparently Dustin Crum, for a 2nd year in a row, was near the top as kingpin. And Pickett said the Americans, they have a disadvantage because they have to play 5-pin bowling compared to 10 usually. But for all the players, important to build strong relationships amongst teammates. The stronger the team will be when that happens.
Yeah, a little trickier too, Claire, when you're used to 10-pin bowling and then you got to deal with the little 5-pin ball.
You just want to overhand it and sling it down there as quarterback, and you got to do the same thing, same type of motion as a regular 10-pin ball with a bigger ball. But it's yeah, I was blown away when I first came up here because I'd never seen it before, and I guess they play a lot of it up here.
See, Chris Strebler is in there now. Clara's 2 for 7 on a good return by Mitchell to the 50, but we saw this with Strebler in, the backup quarterback in here now, the fake to him by Collaros, and he throws down and completes it too at the Red Black 40, and a big first down, and that is the first CFL catch for the new receiver, Carrick Wheatfall, a gain of 21. Wheatfall in for Kenny Lawler.
I'm really surprised that Strevy didn't pull this down and take about 20 yards with his legs right here, but he spots a wide open Wheatfall, kind of underthrows it a bit. His receiver picks him up, and nice game. Big time return to start that drive. And then we see Strebler, as you mentioned, now Collaros back in the ball game.
We'll see both of them in these plays, faking to Augustine. Nick Dembski. And Dembski on the carry afterwards, his first catch in this game. And Mike O'Shea in his 10th season with Winnipeg, and of course you expect nothing but excellence out of the Bombers. A lot of the veterans didn't get much action in training camp or in the preseason games, with a regular season game, Matty, to start 6 days later, so they rested, including Zach Collaros, who didn't get a rep in the
video official has corrected the spot. The ball be placed at the 37.5-yard line, 2nd down.
But we're not used to seeing Winnipeg. You combine what we've seen so far tonight, and yes, they've had some big injuries, but the way it looked against the Alouettes as well.
Yeah, and you go back, that's 2 losses in a row, and through a quarter and a half here, sputtering a little bit.
2nd and 8, Ottawa 37. Collaros trying to get things going. Under pressure, throws it away. Caught there at the Red Black sideline, but yeah, it's been a rough start to the season. We can safely say so far for Zach Collaros. #1 player in the game as voted, and 2-time MOP. Baron Miles and that defense for the Red Blacks causing some problems for Winnipeg so far.
Zach Collaros now 4-10, 41 yards and a pick, and really hadn't figured it out. Baron Miles reading Buck Pearson's playbook right now.
Sergio Castillo was 1 for 3 last week. He's the only kicker that was forced to have a microchip in the ball. They changed the ruling after that game last week, so no microchip used for stats. Not in this ball, as Castillo would be happy about that, as he sends this one off, and he is good in his first field goal try, 45 yards away. The Bombers get on the board. Red Black still leading it, 2nd quarter. Greeting the mayor, Mark Sutcliffe. It's Henry Burris Day today. Of course, they'll never forget him as the quarterback of the team that won the Grey Cup in 2016. Fond memories for Hank in Ottawa.
Yeah, and he's down there celebrating with Armand. He's got Nicole's down there, and yeah, he's
and Barron too.
And Barron.
Dominic Rhymes has his first catch back in Ottawa, and good yardage after the carry up near midfield.
Yeah, and you speak to Drew Brown about this guy right here, Dominic Rhymes. He said, I've never had a receiver like Dominic Rhymes to throw to. And that's saying a lot because you know he's had some tremendous ones. And Dominic Rhymes has got his quarterback's attention and finally hooking up on that play.
His breakout season was 2019 with Ottawa, over 1,000 yards. His best season, 2022 with BC, over 1,400 yards, second in the CFL. Raquel Armstead, the catch and the run, and just inside Bomber territory. Well, mentioning the ceremony for Henry, but all season long, Maddie, this is what Ottawa has planned to celebrate the 10th anniversary season. June 30th against Hamilton, big rec performance and fireworks.
Yeah,
the
fireworks. I'm a big into
yeah, absolutely. The all-decade team and key alumni returning.
That's going to be crazy.
And Family Day in the 7th against the Argos, and then our Nation game, a tribute to the fans against the Ticats.
Which we've been here many times in some lean times, but those fans continue to show up, and what a great experience here at TD Place.
Well, you consider the way this franchise started 10 years ago, just 2 wins, but there was promise. And that one, Addison is hit. Cramdy coming in. But I was going to say with the Red Blacks, they went to the Grey Cup in years 2 and 3 with Henry, won it in 16. But it's the last 4 years, Maddie, since 2018 when they last went to the Grey Cup, and just 14 wins over the 4 years.
Yeah, and on this play here, it looks like Cramdy, he was going to go for pick, and he said, no, I'm just going to go for the hit. And, boy, it's a good thing he got his helmet down, his shoulder in there, because Braylon Addison was wide open for a vicious hit.
Myron Mitchell is back. Winnipeg coming off a field goal in their first points of the game. Getting the ball back now. A flag does come out. It's like for no yards as he is going backwards now. Peter Adji, the long snapper, coming in on that tackle. Myron Mitchell, the new returner in Winnipeg, of course, after they had Janarian Grant for so many years, and he left and signed on with the Argos as a free agent.
I'm just going to say this, and I know how it works, but how do you let that guy go? Right? And then Toronto gets rid of Javon Leake, and who do they pick up? Janarian Grant. It's like, whoo, big-time offseason moves.
While the ball was in the air, illegal interference, Ottawa number 20 will apply the 10-yard penalty from where the ball was caught. It's going to be first down for Winnipeg.
So this time a penalty working in the Bombers' favor, but Zach Collaros still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass this season. Incredible to say that. I know we're only in game 2, but look at the difference, Maddie. Most touchdown passes since 2021, not even close. He has 90. Next best, Vernon Adams Jr. with 54.
Yeah, that's a lot. I think that's plus 36 right there. I think I put 46. A little slow in the uptake.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think last series I called Collaros Strevler too. So yeah, I've thrown a couple picks here in the first half of this ball game.
Nobody's counting them. We're just getting going here. Johnny Augustine trying to get things going for that Bomber offense, and his carry, and as mentioned, he's getting the start because of the injury to Brady Oliveira.
Hey, it really hadn't been running the football much at all.
No. Trying to get the passing game going, but yes, big absences in the running game with Oliveira out, the leading rusher last year, and Kenny Lawler, the big play capability of him.
And let's not forget Gray and left guard and Hardrick at right tackle. I mean, they're still making some adjustments on front with Dobson and certainly Lofton. Good replacements, but this team is still looking to gel.
Bombers have made a lot of changes. 2nd and 7, Winnipeg 28. Deep look, Collaros. Down for Dembski, he has it. Alonzo Adai takes him down, but the biggest play of the game easily for Winnipeg's offense, Collaros to Dembski, and flipping the field in a hurry as they get it down to the Red Black 35.
Even with the hashes moved in from 17 to 9, this is still a very long throw, but you can't get any more accurate than this. Drops it in a hole with Pickett underneath and Adai over the top, and Dembski just was on his horse flying, and Zach Collaros hit him in stride. No room for error there.
Gain of 46 yards, Winnipeg on the move in the Red Black zone, trailing by 10. Second quarter, play fake, off to the right, caught by Dalton Schoen. There's a name we haven't heard in a little while, certainly not tonight, as Schoen has his first catch as he takes it out of bounds.
36 games in a row now, every game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers during the regular season. He's been able to catch a football, and that's his first here, and relatively simple. You got Bryce Carter in your face, which is not easy, and he feathers it out there at 83, and he does the rest.
Gain of 9. Chris Strebler coming in, this time at quarterback. Short yardage. Saw that a lot as they get him assembled back into the Winnipeg offense. Strebler, a former starter with the Bombers at quarterback and worked so well in 2019 with Collaros, that quarterback tandem, and known for his running as he has to push it. Had to get it right to the 25. It looks like he has. 2018,
he had a really nice year. In 2019, it was a bit of a struggle for him. That's why they had to go out and get Zach. And but he was such a talented young man. He got an opportunity down south, and I know that all Canadian Football League fans, including the Winnipeg Blue Bomber fans, are excited about having 17 back in the mix. Picks up a first down there for his Blue Bombers. Love his enthusiasm, his athletic ability, his willingness to put himself aside from team objectives and just get the job done.
Once Collaros arrived late in 2019, Paul Lapalisse, then the offensive coordinator, a lot of people thought, and Buck Pierce looking to carry that on now, did a masterful job of using them both, including in the Grey Cup when Strebler actually threw a touchdown pass. Now the 3-minute warning. 3 minutes exactly until halftime. Ottawa's ruled to have for the most part, but here comes Winnipeg. It's a 10-point game.
Big halftime coming up. Milt and Davis give a lot of love to Ottawa. Enoch tells you what Winnipeg needs to continue to do, and we go back to social media to see who is the best dressed on the panel. It's not Enoch.
Wow.
Wow.
You have to drop that.
Thank you, Kate. First and 10 at the Ottawa 25 as Winnipeg is pressing, trying to get a touchdown before halftime. Collaros dumps it off. Johnny Augustine down to the 10, and he keeps going too as he picks up a first down. It'll be a 1st and goal for the Bombers.
Zach Collaros just tees up the defense here with his eyes and patience, looking hard left, hard left, hard left. You see Augustine released to the flat. Zach knows he's got a big chunk of change in front of him right there. Dumps it to 270. He doesn't go out of bounds. He dips his shoulder, gives about 4 more. Love that.
This is as deep as the Bombers have gotten in this game. Chance to get right back in at 1st and goal at the Ottawa 8. It's taken a while for the Winnipeg offense to get in sync with Collaros. They're all looking sharper now as he looks to the end zone. Deep into the end zone. For Dembski, no. Alonzo Adai in on the coverage there. Well, we wanted to show a lot of love to our host of the CFL on TSN. Kate Burness recently awarded Best Sports Host at the 2024 Canadian Screen Awards. So richly deserved, my friend, from all of us. Congratulations to you for that honor. And great to have you back, too, for another season in the CFL.
And that look and that smile, it's the way she is 24/7 when she comes to work, man. She's nothing but a breath of fresh air and sunshine. And God knows we need some sunshine in that with that panel that we have.
Right? Specifically, it was for Touchdown Atlantic last year, that event and that award. And pressure and a flag comes out. There was a hand briefly on the face mask of Zach Collaros by one of the Ottawa REDBLACKS as he was facing heat. So this one could be going against Ottawa here.
Let them sort it out there. Knocking at the door. You need that 7 here to draw within 3. The REDBLACKS, who have dominated here in the first half.
Flag came out just as a hand had glanced on the face mask of Collaros. We saw a similar penalty, by the way, last week, Winnipeg and Montreal, on Brandon Alexander and Cody Fajardo.
Yeah, Fajardo running his right. Brandon in hot pursuit just slid his hand across the top of the face mask. The officials call it. Be interesting to see what they see here.
Still awaiting word if that is indeed the penalty.
Neufeld right there. 6'6", 335 pounds of Saskatchewan.
There's 2 penalties on the play. Holding, 53 Winnipeg. Roughing the passer, face mask, 96 Ottawa. We'll go up half the distance to the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic first down for Winnipeg.
Yeah, take a look at this here. Pretty easy. Unintentional. Wakefield, I think it is, just trying to get his hand in there and goes to the wrong spot. Patty just pancaking him too.
Well, it was all in the same play with Neufeld on Wakefield as Neufeld was holding and Wakefield got the hand up. So it works out well for Winnipeg. They get it down inside the 5. It is a first and goal for the Bombers. The Ottawa 4. Augustine, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Winnipeg. And the Bombers right back in this game. Driving down the field late in the first half after doing so little offensively for the earlier parts of this game.
Johnny Augustine showing you that he's really hungry for the end zone. Only found it twice in his 6-year career on the ground. And here this extra effort and push by the offensive line, and relatively easy. Great effort. And good on Augustine and the Bombers to fight back here on the road looking for some mojo. Not much of it in the first half, but took advantage of a penalty there and punched it in.
Johnny Augustine with his 2nd touchdown of the season. He had Winnipeg's only TD late in the game last week. So 2 games, 2 TDs for Augustine, and the point after by Sergio Castillo. So what was a 13-point lead is down to a 3-point lead for the Red Blacks with 2:16 to go in the clock until halftime.
And me up in the booth, you know, I'm just thinking, uh-oh. You know, you woke up a sleeping giant. You know, that throw to Dembski, the deep corner, he was just on his horse. And it was just incredible. And the throw by Calero set the tone for that drive there. But cap it was 6 there. Dembski is just flying. You got pick and pursuit, the die over the top. Zach just launching it from the opposite hash. Drops it in the bucket. Started that mojo. Way to go, Nick.
There's the real hero.
No, don't do that. Okay, spreading the love. That's why this team's successful been in the last 4 Grey Cups, because it's not about them, it's about the team. Love that attitude.
That was a 46-yard gain by Dembski, and he's right. It did lead to an Augustine touchdown. Is filling in for Brady Oliveira. So Dembski, a couple of catches in this game. 13-10 Ottawa. So Drew Brown and the Red Blacks getting the ball back. Devontae Dedmon cuts it back inside, and he is taken down inside the 35. So Drew Brown, one thing that's been a trademark, Matty, over his football career, pro and college, is there was a lot more touchdowns than he does interceptions. If you look at those numbers, the ratio very favorable, including his time in Winnipeg. He had 9 touchdown passes, none picked, coming off the bench for Zach Collaros last year.
And it's the Red Blacks, quite frankly, can't afford turnovers. That's what costs them in football games. And
that, as you saw in red,
that's why he's going to be a good fit here.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a big problem. Too many picks thrown from the 34. Flags out. Hardy with the ball, and Evan Holm sending him out of bounds after a first down. We'll wait and see what this flag is about.
That's a straight-up dart from number 3 right there. Very accurate, long throw, just railed it right out there.
Illegal contact on the receiver. Winnipeg number 37. The penalty is declined. It's going to be first down.
As Mike O'Shea discusses, it was a gain of 17. Brandon Alexander was flagged for that, but the completion to Hardy does stand up, and a first down for Ottawa.
Yeah, you just don't know how long of a throw that is, how quickly that ball got there. And Hardy, the recipient of good timing. Not the prettiest, but boy, that ball was heaved out there and stuck it on the number 2. Love what I'm seeing for number 3.
Up to the Red Blacks 51. On the first down, it is caught. And the rookie, Nick Mardner, who was drafted 2nd overall in the draft, has his first CFL catch. Mardner, most recently at Auburn. Cincinnati before that.
Right. Sticking with the Cincinnati's theme was Zach Collaros and Kelsey. You know, Mardner picking up the slack here. Tall receiver. A lot of high hopes with this guy. Found him on that play. Going right, going left. Young quarterback showing us that he's got what it takes to take advantage of this wide field.
In the Bomber zone, it's a 2nd and very short here. Out of shotgun, running again. We saw this before in that big 3rd down earlier in the first quarter. And once again, it is Raquel Armstead. He picks up 6 yards and a lot more than needed for the first down as the sticks move again.
Yeah, Coach Bobby Dice, you know, says, I just simply call him Rock. He's coming right downhill up here. And he cuts it and straight and gets low and gets what he can. And yeah, the Rock playing the hammer.
Back to him, Armstead again.
6'1", 225. Got good feet. You saw him hunting and pecking there, but still moving forward with speed. And yeah, the Red Blacks putting a nice drive together, a response drive here late in the first half.
And he gains 9 more. And again, that was one of the question marks with this offense, with all the changes they made because of the injury to Devontae Williams. Who's going to run the ball?
Devontae really had a nice year last year. Went over 1,000 yards, really kind of coming into his own. They had that unfortunate injury late.
Armstead again, down to the 30 and inside as the pile continues to move. That was on a 2nd and 1. So another first down. Impressive response by Ottawa late in the first half. 1:04 to go after 10 unanswered points by Winnipeg to get back into this football game.
Yeah, got to. You know, it'd be nice for them to go into half 20-10, at least 16-10. But this is a great response drive, as you mentioned, Rod. And good on this young back getting it done there. Giving us some hope going into half.
Running the football, of course, taking some pressure off the new quarterback, too, if they can do that. The Winnipeg 28. Drew Brown to throw. Has time. Off to the left. It's Martner. And a flag does come out back in the red-black backfield. Will this be coming back?
Yeah, I think it's coming back, Rod. Unfortunately.
Legal block, hands to the face.
Yeah.
Ottawa number 59. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Doesn't destroy this drive, but the center right here. And, you know, he's trying. He didn't want to put his hands in the face, but when he got this coming at you, wow, just that initial left-hand punch got him.
Sean Burke, the general manager of the Ottawa REDBLACKS, looking on there, and what he thought might have been Martner's.
He's not impressed with that.
Not impressed at all. What looked like Martner's second career catch, and instead it's negated by that penalty on the Ottawa center. So pushes them back to a 1st and 20. Winnipeg 38. With seconds to go until halftime. With time, good protection, and looking for Acklin, and Retta Cramby was right with him to make sure that that is broken up. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, and this is a tight window. It's closing fast because Cramby is undercutting everything here. It's a good look at it. It's coming in late, passes him off. Cramby center field turns there, gets underneath. A really nice job of getting his hand in the mix. And watch to the field. This receiver right here is wide open, and young quarterback's got his eyes to the left. And he misses an opportunity. It happens.
Passing off to the right. That is complete. And that's Rhymes again. And just getting a little bit closer for Lewis Ward, who'll come on now and attempt another field goal. He's 2 for 2. And to see if he can make it a 6-point lead at halftime. 29 seconds to go.
Those are the ones that drive you crazy right there. You know, you get a crazy hands to the face, left hand up underneath the face mask, and Jake Thomas. And then you miss a guy. Nice play by the defense. Credit Winnipeg for getting the job done there, forcing the field goal here. I think he let Winnipeg hang around, scoring bunches, get some momentum going. See if Lewis can't stop the bleeding here.
This will be a 34-yard try. Lewis Ward, who remains perfect on the night. 3 more points, Ottawa, and a 6-point lead. 5 seconds to go until halftime. And you know where we're going. Back to Kate Burness, Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stegall as well. Yeah, the band is back together with Kate running the show. And we'll hear from them at halftime. And I understand that whatever New York fries that Kate and Milt can't eat, they're going to save them for us. It might be a little bit cold.
Kate's looking for some fries. I think she was shut out. I don't think there's any fries there. Hello?
She was later getting the news about New York fries and sponsoring Thursday Night Football.
Thanks for stepping up.
So 5 seconds to go. Interesting first half because it had been all Ottawa. But Winnipeg really showed signs of life in the second quarter, and their previous drive, and then back came Ottawa to drive for a field goal. So
yeah, Rod Zach finished 7 of 14 for 114 yards. Kind of bounced back towards the end of that second quarter because it wasn't going well for the Bombers offense, but he found his way with that deep throw to Dembski. And nice hustle by Johnny Augustine in a couple plays and found the end zone.
And Drew Brown went 12 of 18 for 135. And also interesting plays using Braylon Addison, Matty. We wondered what they'd do at running back. And early on, he busted off a couple of big runs and also had a big catch.
Yeah, you know, and Braylon has been fighting the injury bug, you know, for quite some time. And so good to see him get the job done in so many different ways.
And here he is now with Claire Hanna.
Braylon, you guys got out to a commanding 13-0 lead. I know things have tightened up a bit, but where did the explosion come from on offense?
Just practice all week, working on it since training camp. You know, we had the extra week for the bye week, but, you know, we knew it was going to be a tight fight. These guys been in a Grey Cup the last 4 years, so, you know, it's nothing we're not expecting. We're ready for a fight.
What do you think of your new quarterback, Drew Brown, so far?
He's a competitor. He wants to win. You know, I think people saw in the preseason, you know, the answer he had at halftime. He expects greatness. He expects maximum effort. So, you know, we're just trying to match his energy, and we go as he goes.
Braylon, thank you.
Thank you.
Really tainted if you look at the time of possession in the first quarter, and then Winnipeg kind of balanced it out a little bit, but still 2-1 there. Redblacks possessing the football. Got to keep it away from the deadly, potent offense of Zach Collaros.
Nick Dembski had a big catch in that first half. Here he is now with Claire.
Nick, your catch really spurred on your offense, but it took a while to get going. What was going on in your opinion?
I mean, you know what? Yeah, it took us a little bit to get going. We just got to stay on the field, keep making plays. We saw something that we liked on film, so we attacked it.
What was the message at half as you try to kind of regain a lead here?
Just keep playing physical. I mean, you know, we got some momentum now. Now we just got to keep building on it, and then just come out, play our brand of football, and we'll be okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And some injury concerns for the Bomber defense, Matty. We saw that Dietrich Nichols is out, Celestin Hab, also Miles Fox, all out of this game and will not be back.
Week 1, offensive players going down. Week 2 here for the Bombers. You lost 3. Defensively, Mike O'Shea, adversity early in the season here on the road, looking to climb back in this one against the Redblacks. Little momentum there in the second quarter, Rod.
Bombers get the ball to start. Michael Chrisike back here with Myron Mitchell, who has the ball across the 30. As he is taken down, and a flag comes out just shy of the 40 at around the 38. So we wait for this to be sorted out. A penalty right off the start of the second half.
They're in the return. Illegal block. Winnipeg number 49. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down.
As announced by the referee, Ben Major.
Yeah, Zach, slow start, and then he kind of heated up. And I love that high percentage throws, getting everybody involved as he often does. And this is, look, byproduct of Buck Pierce and Zach Collaros having such a close relationship. That's just a dime right there. Great eyes by Collaros here. Finding Johnny Augustine in the flat, getting close to punching it in.
And Augustine, the ball carrier there, but not much doing. The Redblacks have him all stuffed up.
Griffin there, Johnny on the spot saying, not in this play.
7 of 14 for 114, and the 1 interception as well in that first half.
Sometimes it's like this, and I guarantee it. The Redblacks were not far away defensively over the last couple of years here. They've been on the field a long time over the last couple of years, and that usually costs them towards those close games in the end. But right now, they've been dominating this ball game.
2nd and 10 after no gain by Augustine. It is complete to Augustine, and he gets it up close to a first down. Had to get to the 32, and it looks like he got there. Wait and see where the ball is spotted. Big spot this would be
ball
in the
short,
Bomber zone.
Come on. Yeah, it's a good play. Dump it down, let him get what he can. He's about a ball length short.
Collaros looking off to the sideline and back into huddle up as the sticks will come on, and they'll measure this and just see exactly where things stand. Say at that close would certainly, regardless, wouldn't expect the offense to head off the field.
Oh, he got it.
Wow. So close. The nose of the foot.
Oh, he gave it to him.
And he gets it. Ben Major signals it is a first down.
Ooh.
The nose just touching that far yard marker. So on the reception by Johnny Augustine.
He knew what he needed to get. That's big time first down. May not seem like much, backed up in your own end. Defense chomping it. They try to get the ball away and pick up another key first down right there.
Up to the Winnipeg 32 now. Bombers offense came to life in the second quarter. Came back to make it a 13-10 game and a late field goal. It's a 6-point lead by the Red Blacks. Augustine carrying the football for the 5th time. Yards tougher to come by.
Yeah,
does have a touchdown in this one.
Frankie Griffin making his presence known. Weak side linebacker for the Red Blacks. Been here now 3 years, and Texas State products and Marcos. I think he's attacking machine with Javon Santos Knox and add Darius Pickett, as good as anybody in the league.
3-yard gain, Augustine. It's a 2nd and 7. Start of the second half, and it was a shorter halftime for fear of a thunderstorm later, trying to get this game done. Pressure, Caleros, they've got him. He goes down at the Winnipeg 30. Michael Wakefield coming in. He's been a bit of a nightmare for Caleros in this game, and picks up a big sack there for Ottawa.
Michael Wakefield, yeah. You know, I think he can be as dominant as anybody in the league when he wants to. It just sometimes, you know, one, he's not given the opportunity because he's not on the field, but Wakefield he's a beast. Big body. I think he's over 265. He's listed at that, but I think he's playing more like 290.
So Jamison Sheehan is back as the Bombers are forced to punt it away, and Devontae Dedman is waiting for it. Lower, wow, takes a hop, a beautiful punt by Sheehan as Dedman's chased back to the Red Blacks 10. Turns it around and heads off to the left and heads out of bounds, chased there by Tanner Cadwallader after a 67-yard punt with the help of a roll. Ottawa football. New York Fries Thursday night. And the start of season 10 for the Ottawa Red Blacks. Played their first game in Winnipeg, July the 3rd, 2014. Driving it along the ground. Well, call him Rock. He's been solid. Armstead with that carry.
That's not our nickname we're giving him. That's what they call him. That's what Coach Dice calls him. And well, he's showing he's hard-nosed like a rock. He just moves that pile. Keep him churning.
He had 71 yards rushing in the first half alone and 8 more there. And a 2nd and 2 at the Ottawa 29. Give the rock to the Rock as he picks up the first down and more. Raquel Armstead, new running back for the Red Blacks.
Coming right at you. Let's see what you got. 6'1", 225. Stick your nose in there if you want to. I love it. We got so many good running backs in the Canadian Football League. It's just insane.
And getting to know some newer ones, such as Mr. Armstead here now. 11 carries, 84 yards, the updated numbers now. 1st and 10, Ottawa 35. Back to him. Why not? Shorter carry this time, but the way he's had it going, Tanner Schmeckel in on the tackle for Winnipeg.
Drew Brown was used to doing that when he did play quarterback in Winnipeg, feeding the ball to some incredible running backs there over his 3 years, and looks like he's found himself one here early on in the season.
3 receivers to the right, looking that way in the 2nd and 7, enough for a first down and more after the catch. The pile just keeps moving. That is Dominique Rhymes. It is, we'll call it a re-debut with the Red Blacks back after a few years away in BC.
Sit down and I'll find you. Zone coverage, you can see just to the space into the line of the ball. Halfbacks high, corners cut. Going to sit in that hole there. Easy pitch and catch for Drew Brown, and a receiver that he defines as one he's never had the pleasure of working with before.
Connecting there, up near midfield now. First down, Ottawa possession. Back it goes to Armstead as he keeps working his way along, and a flag does come out as he gets it down to the Winnipeg 50.
Tommy Condell, new offensive coordinator.
Holding Ottawa, number 52. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Coach Bobby Dice says he's a great communicator. And you got 4 boys, which Tommy Condell does have. Yeah, you are going to have to be a good communicator, or otherwise your household's going to be in turmoil. So, yeah, to communicate to some professional quarterbacks that are all in, Tommy Condell's a great communicator. QBs love him.
Long time with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, let go during the season last year. He was there for a number of years. It's pushed back 1st and 20 at the 44 after the holding penalty. Adams fell chasing Brown, who just throws that one away. 2nd down and long now as Brown had nothing.
Man, you know, penalty puts you behind the sticks. Flush, got to throw it away. That's a tough one. You don't want to do it, but that's a smart play by the young quarterback. There's a new defensive coordinator for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. You're looking at him, Jordan Younger. Played a long time in the league's been buying his time to get this position. Richie Hall, longtime DC there in Winnipeg, had so much success. Steps aside, still in a assistant role capacity. Jordan Younger gets his chance.
2nd down and long. Red Blacks with a 6-point lead. 3rd quarter. Some heat coming. He gets rid of it, and it is caught. In traffic, too. Dominic Rhymes hangs on to the football, avoids the big hit, gets it down, and a 1st down at the Bomber 50. Oh, slightly short. Excuse me, I jumped the gun there. Still a few yards shy.
Yeah, and the voice is tight. And free safety, who's Cranby back there right now. And he's coming in with a chicken wing and trying to cut in front of that, but the ball got there quicker. Looking at about 3rd and 3.
Big gain, but of course it was 2nd and long of 20, so it is still a couple of yards shy. So Bob Dice sends in the punting unit. Richie Leone, the veteran in his 8th year at the University of Houston, long-time Red Black. The punted away to Myron Mitchell, standing inside the Bomber 10. And it goes out of bounds in the air. Was it inside the 15? Don't see a flag at this point in time. Claire Hanna will have more on newcomer Adarius Pickett to Ottawa. Another key signing by the Red Blacks, bringing in Adarius Pickett, who had just an outstanding season with the Argos last year. The party starter. More on him from Claire.
Yeah, Rod, and it's a no-brainer that he is a very talented linebacker. In fact, he was runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year last year. He was a CFL All-Star. However, the big reason that the Red Blacks wanted to sign him in the offseason was for his leadership. In fact, in his 1st year with the Red Blacks, he's already been named one of the team captains. And when I asked how he became a leader so fast, he credits it to his time helping coach at UCLA in 2020. He learned how to deal with different personalities. Not every player learns or responds the same way. For example, he can yell at Money Hunter.
That's wide open. Claire, it is taken by Wheatfall on a big play. Bombers down the left side. Wheatfall in his 1st game in the CFL has it down inside the 5 and a 1st and goal Winnipeg.
Yeah, showing you their explosiveness, which they've lacked in the first week of the season. They're finding it here from the 2nd quarter on. Zach Caleros feeding the ball deep to Wheatfall, and he's in behind Money Hunter, and he's trailing and gets some help down inside the 10 and the 5-yard line, finally tracking down Wheatfall, and he shows you why the Bombers like him. And it's a big-time play from a young receiver that he's got some big shoes to fill in Kenny Lawler.
Carrick Wheatfall. And another big play through the air for Caleros. Winnipeg knocking at the door. Augustine. He drives down. So, Claire, I'm sorry. Continue your story.
Well, here's the thing. Pickett learned that each player on defense has a different personality type. So, for example, he might be yelling at Money Hunter on this play, but when it comes to Tobias Harris, he has to speak in a calmer fashion. So knowing how to converse with different teammates is what he thinks makes him a good leader and why he's been named one of the captains, guys.
And Claire, glad to be back reunited with Baron Miles. First couple of years in the league with the Montreal Alouettes. you talked about. From there, going on to Toronto, and now with Ottawa, Chris Strebler is in. Second and goal of the Ottawa 3. Strebler, right side, trying to pull his way up, but no. Alonzo Adai's in there. Money Hunter pulling him back. And they say this door is closed right now. A third and goal is coming up here. Big third down for Winnipeg.
Pile up right here. Just hits a wall, gets stood up, and then there's too many bodies there for Strebler to try to gain leverage. Third and goal on the 2.
Crowd is fired up here at TD Place.
Draw him off sides here.
Strebler still in, quickly to the line. Strebler! Touchdown!
Oh, he quick snapped him there. That's not a bad idea. You know, thinking maybe long count. He went up there, quick snap, first sound, and bang, took it. Knew he was going. Got the jump on the Red Blacks. Don't need much down there to gain leverage. Quarterbacks, you can only do a few things down there. And long counter, quick snap him. He quick snapped him there and caught some leverage by the right side and found the end zone.
Chris Strebler, his first touchdown since coming back to the CFL. His first game back was last week against the Alouettes. That was his first game since the Grey Cup in 2019, which he and the Bombers won, and he celebrated later in style.
Yeah, he did.
And celebrates a touchdown there off on the sideline with Sergio Castillo in. And this point after has given the Winnipeg Blue Bombers their first lead of this game. They were down by 13 at one point. Big play down the field to set up this. Strebler.
The Football League and Zach Caleros with no Kenny Lawler, no problem. You got Carrick Wheatfall from Brennan, Texas, going deep. A couple catches for almost 100 yards, showing you that you got to be able to stretch the defense and keep them honest. And getting a big-time contribution from that young receiver, putting the Bombers in the lead for the first time in this ballgame.
Not easy shoes to fill, too, with Kenny Lawler injured, but 2 catches for 97 yards, a 76-yarder there to help set up the touchdown for Winnipeg. And on the return is Devontae Dedmon, taken down by Michael Chris Ike.
Yeah, so to that point, Rod, you got a 46-yarder to Dembski right before the half, and then, you know, it sets him up. And then you've got that one there, pretty quick score. And Winnipeg has found a vertical stretch with Carrick Wheatfall. And, yeah, that's really good news to the football team. It's been hit early in this football season with injuries on both sides of the ball.
Winnipeg briefly had the lead last week over the Alouettes in the first quarter on a field goal, but aside from that, the Bombers have been down, coming back, leading for the first time in this game by a point. Getting later in the third quarter, so back comes Ottawa now. And that is Justin Hardy with the catch and a first down for the Red Blacks.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much, but this is a rule of thumb. You know, you go north-south as quick as you can, and Justin Hardy catches this rock, and he knows where the sticks are, and watch how quickly he turns upfield. He's already moving. Nicely done by number 2.
He has 5 catches for 67 yards in this one. At the Ottawa 43, Brown looking to quickly get rid of it. Instead, he gets it off to Rock Armstead and picks up a couple of yards after the catch to get it beyond the 40, but actually that ends up being a loss of about a yard for Ottawa, so second and long coming up.
Yeah, whenever you go east and west with a big guy like that, advantage defense with their speed and quickness, they can rally, and they caught the big guy going east and west there in the little swing pass and wasn't able to get north and south like he was.
We'll push back a bit. Second and 12 from the Ottawa 41. Red Blacks trailing for the first time in this, the start of their 10th season. Their opening night. Throwing down low for Braylon Addison. Bombers don't think it's a catch. Jordan Younger offering his opinion on that.
Even if it is, it's going to be about 1.5 yards, 2 yards short. Better throw gives them a chance. I think that's skips.
Well, they're calling it a catch, and it's third down and a couple of yards.
Skips.
So the Red Blacks and Mike O'Shea.
They're not happy about having to throw that flag.
No, he's throwing that challenge flag. This Ottawa tried to get that play off quickly, but no. The challenge from O'Shea.
Winnipeg is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe it was an incomplete pass. The play will be reviewed.
Well, the video will tell in this case as the command center gets on it. As one more look, Matty, at this pass through Brown to Braylon Addison that is being called a catch and challenged by Mike O'Shea.
You be the judge back home. That ball's on the ground.
Sure looks like it is. Decision coming up. TD Place in Ottawa. We'll be back.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field is... Upon further review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It's an incomplete pass. It's third down for Ottawa.
So no catch as we suspected for Addison. So a third down and a punt coming up here. Richie Leone out. That pass wasn't for a first down, but it was within a couple of yards, and the Red Blacks initially showed signs of wanting to go for it, but
which would have been, I think, a bad move at that time.
It may have been. Who knows? I mean, Mitchell is back now just inside the Bomber 25. So Winnipeg has the lead, and they're about to get the ball back, and in under 3 minutes to go until three-quarter time.
See if Leone can get a better punt off this time. Last time he punted out of bounds.
And got flagged for that, too. This one settling down around the 25. Mitchell gets around Ty Cranston, cuts it up, and up to about the 37 before he is taken down after a punt of 45 and a late flag. A couple of them coming out now after the fact. Extracurriculars after the whistle is blown. 2 flags out there.
Better punt by Leone.
We have a player misconduct foul. Ottawa, number 13, will go up 15 yards from the end of the play. It's going to be first down.
That is the punter, Leone, who gets flagged for that. As said, after the fact, after Mitchell was down.
Shot at Jeremiah Mazzoli right there on the sidelines, trying to calm down his kicker. Richard probably still steaming from that one he put out of bounds a couple series ago.
So the result of that, with the penalty and the return, it is up to the 53 Winnipeg.
Zach is licking his lips on this one. Great field position, momentum, first lead of the game.
Wanted to do the toss to Augustine. Instead, he just throws it away. That play a little bit of a mix-up. As you can see him turn back and want to send it off to Augustine.
The pass went beyond the line of scrimmage. It's second down.
Fans wanting a grounding call there against Collaros and Winnipeg. It's a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah.
Little miscommunication there.
Discombobulation.
Discombobulation. Close to midfield. And passing. 4-man rush. With time, it's intercepted. The safety, Alonzo Adai, has it. And a good return, too, in Bomber territory. Chris Kolinkowski tried to get him, and he gets a few more yards before he is finally taken down. And the second interception thrown by Zach Collaros in this game. Big one, Ottawa defense, as the Red Blacks take over in the Bomber zone.
Yeah, and Zach's, I think, still a little pissed off, you know, for lack of better words, about the last play. He stares this down, and he looks left the whole time. And Adai sees that and just undercuts a dig route. He's looking there, waits for the window. Adai feathers back and picks it off. And like you said, Rod, great return. Big time play by the Red Blacks defense when they needed it, because momentum was definitely shifting towards Winnipeg. And Adai said, not on my watch.
It really had been going the Bombers' way up until that point. They still have the lead. Ottawa has the ball. They're at the Winnipeg 45 now. 17-16 game. Third quarter, and Rock hits a wall. Nowhere to go.
That's Willie. Big
Willie Jefferson.
Making sure he's on the stat sheet. Yeah, what Montreal did, it was a really nice job last week of keeping that big man in check. Well, we know what havoc he can wreak any play, anytime, any team. Willie Jefferson could be there on that play. He said, we got to shut this down right now.
Every year, one of the top defensive linemen in the CFL, the defensive player of the year in the league back in 2019 when went on and won the Grey Cup with the Bombers. 2nd and 11 now. Final minute, third quarter. coverage there as the ball pops out. It was intended for Dominique Rhymes. And Tyrell Ford in his second year with the Bombers in on the coverage there for Winnipeg. Third down coming up.
Yeah, long throw here for the young quarterback, trying to complete a tight window too, and he hits his third step, and well, that's tight. That's tight coverage. This is outstanding job by Ford, getting the job done, getting off the field. Big time bow in your neck defensively for Jordan Younger's defense on that series.
So Leone back out to punt. Last time took that penalty, sending it off to Mitchell. This time going left. Inside the 10. Oh, really a great special teams tackle, but it ends up getting better for that coverage unit of the Red Blacks as they put Mitchell back to close to the 5-yard line for Collaros and the Bomber defense to get going again. Summer of soccer officially here. UEFA Euro 2024 will begin tomorrow. The kickoff between Germany and Scotland begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. That is only on TSN Euro 2024. It is the start of week 2 in the CFL on TSN on this Thursday night in the nation's capital. Game 1 for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, and Michael Wakefield is a couple of big plays on defense with the rain coming down. They've got them hemmed deep at the end of the third quarter here. Final play, Collaros. Some pressure. He gets rid of it, and it is complete. It's caught up near the 15 by Drew Wolotarski.
Come on, Rod. Kate's been waiting for you to say it properly. Say it again.
Wolotarski with the catch for Winnipeg. And so ends the third quarter. Some momentum swings here, but the headliner for Winnipeg, the Bombers, drive down, and they get their first lead of the game by a single point heading into the final quarter. More explosive, Matty, but let's face it, big plays got them back in this game. That's why they lead it by a point heading to the fourth.
Canadian Football League is known for big plays. You got to have guys that, as Davis says, they need to be separators, and they found one. And Wheatfall just has got the job done, and then we saw Dembski doing his thing, and it's a beautiful throw by Zach Collaros, so credit him as well on their offensive line. Look, they've taken some hits here by the REDBLACKS early in this football game, and then they've suffered some injuries defensively that would crush a lot of football teams, and still they're up by 1 here in the fourth quarter, and rain's coming down, and I think that could be a factor if it continues here in the fourth quarter, and ball security is going to be paramount. And
Zach Collaros is on the sideline to start this possession. Deep in their zone, Chris Strebler is on. It's a second and short. So the short yardage QB Strebler is a touchdown in this game. And not much there. Damon Webb in the pack, and he did not get the first down.
And what do you do here, Rod? I mean, do you risk going for it here, or do you punt the football away?
Got him a little closer, but still, that looks like at least a half yard to a yard that they're shy.
Well, we know it's going to be at least a yard. Let me see. Oh, yeah, he's just...
So had to get to about the 16-yard line, and the ball's around the 15. It is a 3rd and 1. Here we go. Strebler stays in.
Mano-y-mano. Who wants it most?
For the first down. Strebler, right side. Well, didn't get much, but it looks like he will have enough. Had to get it to the 21.
Yeah, this gets ugly down there. If you've heard me describe this, it's a bunch of nastiness going on down there, and you don't want to be there. We saw in week 1, Vernon Adams, starting quarterback for BC, arguably one of the most explosive, revered quarterbacks in our league, justifiably so, but he's a finesse player. That guy, not so much. He's the kind of guy you want handling the short yardage, taking some shots, not letting the starting quarterback like VA take him like he was last week. And they got rid of BC. They got rid of Dakota Prukop. He went to Edmonton.
And Prukop had some good years in that role with Winnipeg.
And Buck Pierce loved him, but Strebby's just bigger.
On the ground, Johnny Augustine finds a hole and has some more as he gets it up near the 30. And with one running play, the Bombers buy themselves some more space and another first down Winnipeg after the gain of 14 for Augustine.
Yeah, that's huge just for field position alone here in this fourth quarter. Get out of your own end. don't let him get good field position and cheap points, and that's a big hole by that offensive line. Johnny exploits it and picks up another first down, Rod, like you said. And this is huge, man. Control the ball. Keep it away from the young quarterback at home. Grind it.
A late rain falling here. A first down. Damon Webb on the blitz. Chasing down Collaros, forces him to get rid of it, and that one is incomplete. Second down coming up as Webb was charging in.
I like that. Coming off the left side. Yeah, coming from right here. He's got to come a long way and time it up, and he's hot on his horse on the heels of Collaros because he's flat-footed right there. Augustine does not go and engage. He whiffs on that, and Zach's like, what are you doing?
Crowd picking up for the Red Blacks defense. And a big second down and 10 coming up here. Trying to stall that Bomber momentum. Another blitz coming. On Collaros, no time. He goes down. They sack him again. As Baron Miles dials up another pressure defense to take the ball out of Winnipeg's hands. They'll have to punt it away.
Yeah, aggressive 2 plays in a row, and they send 6. And they get to Zach Collaros. Squashing, everybody stays in their lanes, being lane conscious, not leaving them any room to step up, and Zach goes down. Big time play by the Red Blacks team.
And the sack by Damon Webb, good couple of plays, bringing it for the Red Black defense. Had the pressure before to force the early throw, and then Webb gets the sack. Jamison Sheehan from his 10. Ottawa gets the ball in good shape here for Dedman. And just he pops out of that coverage and gets it up to about the 52 for the Red Blacks. Back comes important player in the young history of the Ottawa Red Blacks, now in their 10th season still. It's Grey Cup champion Henry Burris. Back to Claire.
Thanks, Rod. And it's been hard to get a hold of Henry Burris because he's been hugging everybody on the sidelines ever since the snap of the first football till this moment. But what's it been like for you for the first time being back in Ottawa in 5 years?
It's great to be back home. I mean, we're rejoicing on so many great memories here, celebrating the 10-year, and to be voted the #1 player as far as within this organization would be possible without the fans and all the great teammates that I played against during my time here. It's been an emotional return on top of that.
Now, you've mentioned one of your favorite memories, of course, was winning a Grey Cup here, but your kids, Armand and Baron, they can't even remember it because they were so young. What's it like sharing the moment here with them and Nicole, your wife?
Well, this city made us who we are. I mean, it kind of encapsulated everything that we had achieved up until that moment. But now we come back here, there are family and friends that have helped make us who we are today. And we miss many memories here. We miss the people. We miss the city. And to be able to come back to TD Place, I was in tears basically when I arrived here for this game. Just looking forward to the moment, reflecting back with so many great teammates and fans, sign autographs, taking pictures. Because, again, they made this whole thing possible for us, the fans did, and we were lucky enough to bring a Grey Cup back for them.
Now, I know on the sidelines you've been taking a look at the coaches. You're coaching your son at Florida. Can we ever expect you to be coaching back in the CFL?
Once Baron graduates from high school, let's talk.
Oh, you heard it here first. Thank you so much, Henry.
Hey, thank you so much, Claire.
Armand and Baron and Henry's sons, and a proud moment for them, for their dad, and what he meant to Ottawa football here. Coming in 2014 with the expansion team, and they won only 2 games. And Henry needed receivers, Matty, and they went out and got a bunch of talented receivers. They went to the Grey Cup the next year, lost to Edmonton, and then the year after, when it looked like he may not be able to play, Hank did and went to overtime against Calgary, an epic Grey Cup that Ottawa won. And that is definitely the highlight of their 10 years here back in the nation's capital.
Hank had to go get some modern medicine to come out and for that ball game, and it was just incredible, his performance. And he's an emotional player. You saw that. You see it when he talks. He's excitable, and I'm really, I mean, as a father, you know, you saw where his focus was. You know, talk to me after my youngest son graduates.
Right.
And his oldest son, Armand, is committed to Concordia University in St. Paul in Minnesota, and going to play some football there. And you know, so it runs in the family, Rodney.
Sure does. Congratulations, Henry Burris. It's hard to believe has not played. He was on our panel for a while and has not played in the CFL since that Grey Cup title.
We miss him.
2016.
He was
Hank's great to work with. Great teammate. Red Blacks is picking up a first down, faking the handoff and throwing it off for the fullback, Anthony Gosselin. That falls incomplete on that first down play.
We covered Hank's first ball game in
His
Montreal.
first start in Montreal,
That's
you and I,
correct.
in 1999, he was with Calgary.
That's correct.
Facing the Alouettes, that's right.
I think we got in trouble that game. But we won't tell that story. Yeah.
Well,
we knew he was going to be special back then.
Yeah, he was. He was. And, of course, had some great years with the Stampeders, Saskatchewan Roughriders, too. Hamilton threw for a lot of yards there and ended up
63,000 he ended up third all-time.
Third all-time. Behind Anthony Calvillo and Damon Allen. 2nd and 10. Winnipeg 48. Brown. That's caught. That's Hardy. That's a first down, and that's more. Gets back inside. He's still going. Justin Hardy down inside the 10, close to the 5. Big play, Red Blacks. A 43-yard gain, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Yeah, he's right here. He's going to go out here. Ball's going to be put on time, gives himself to work with. But again, we're talking about Hardy's quickness off the break and the catch. He turns and he's gone. Outruns the angle, then boom, it's off to the races. Justin Hardy getting Ottawa set up on the 6-yard line, knocking at the door. Just great awareness and speed and a sense of urgency getting on the field. Ackland trying to throw a block. He does, and good-looking play.
Hardy now has 6 catches for 109 yards. Leading receiver last year had over 1,000. Back to the ground. Armstead down inside the 5. Gets it down to about the 2 with Brandon Alexander and Adam Bighill there. But here come the Red Blacks, a 2nd and goal and knocking on the door again.
Do they ever need this drive? Yeah, Biggie and Alexander stepped up big time and stopped the guy that Winnipeg's had trouble stopping for most of this ball game when they needed to, knocking at the door.
Reichwell Armstead. Rock, 91 yards carrying. The longest to 31.
First-year player from Temple.
Where Hank went to school. Here we go. Faking it. Into the end zone. Brown! Touchdown! And it's Hardy again. And the Red Blacks have the lead again.
Yeah, right to left. You know, a little play fake. People bite, lift it over the top, and he's all alone. Hardy getting rewarded for his work. And quick reaction out of his break, getting him down on the 6, and 2 plays later, first of the year.
Making it a 5-point game. They're going for 2 to see if they can push it to 7. So a 2-point attempt coming up here for Drew Brown and the Red Blacks in his first game with Ottawa, which happens to be against his old club. He spent 3 years backing up Zach Collaros for Brown. Devontae Dedman in the backfield with him. Martner wide to the right. Brown looks off into the end zone. No. It was attempted for Rhymes, and Retta Kremdy was there, and so it remains a 5-point difference at 22-17. But Ottawa was down, and all alone in the end zone is Justin Hardy for the go-ahead TD.
Got a little switch motion here on the outside, and Justin Hardy takes advantage of communication, lack thereof, by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and it's a simple pitch and catch. And Hardy, there's a little switch motion there, 2 go on 1, and boy, it's too easy.
The rain is coming down heavier now. Red Blacks in front by 5. Bomber Paul Mitchell with it. 6:44 in the clock in the 4th quarter as he is pushed out of bounds up at the Winnipeg 30. Justin Hardy, big touchdown. Can the Red Blacks hang on for win number 1? Down at the Red Black bench, we're not exactly sure what is going on as someone is getting some attention down at these sidelines. So there is a timeout right now on the field.
Jeremiah.
And then we see Jeremiah Masoli sitting up.
That's Jeremiah now.
But was getting some attention earlier, had collapsed down on the field, and seems to be fine now as he gets up. But there was certainly a sense of urgency as Zach Collaros, an old teammate from their days together in Hamilton, coming over and putting his arm around it. But as I said, we're not sure what happened, but certainly a moment of concern when we saw someone go down. It was Jeremiah Masoli, and nice to see some smiles there now, because, as I say, for a brief moment, people were flocking around him to make sure that he was okay, and does appear to be so now. So the game will resume. 22-17 Ottawa, 6.5 minutes to go. The Winnipeg 30. Collaros in. The heat keeps coming, and a flag comes out. Will this be holding against Winnipeg, as he finally does, on the move, get rid of it and just throws it out of bounds? But one running theme here with Ottawa's defense is they're getting a lot of heat on number 8 in the last few possessions.
Holding Winnipeg number 53. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
It's Patrick Neufeld right in the middle of that, and well, he didn't have much choice because Zach evaded to his right, and that's where Patty had leverage and went right into the defensive tackle. Then it was Chase was on, and Zach had to throw it away, but to no avail. Holding 10-yard penalty.
First and 20 at the Winnipeg 20. 6 minutes exactly. More pressure coming. Liam Dobson got an arm on a defender there as well, and that was Lorenzo Malden, and it looks like could be another holding penalty coming up for a beleaguered offensive line that is having difficulty with this Red Blacks pass rush.
Could that be the bye week coming into play? You know, a team that is
holding Winnipeg number 64. Penalties declined. It's going to be second down.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, he's right here. I believe he's right there, and he's going to slide inside on Dobson. Dobson's going to get the brunt of this right there. He can't leverage him. He's just got to take him down so his quarterback doesn't get smeared. Yeah, defensive player of the year 2 years ago. Led the league in sacks. And a little off year last year, but Bryce Carter picked up his slack.
Four-man rush this time, and they still get pressure on him. It's nearly intercepted. Just coming in, Darius Pickett in the coverage there. So even rushing 4, as Collaros got rid of it, and is 10 for 23 now passing in this game.
Yeah, and so Zach's just looking for any type of time here, and really tight coverage on the back end. That looks like Pickett right there undercutting Dalton Schoen, and well, what a draw, what a series there for the Red Blacks defense. Pressure by the interior defensive line. Malden drawing holds.
And Collaros, Matty, is 1 for 6 since that big play, 76 yards to Carrick Wheatfall. So Winnipeg has to punt. Here's Dedman. And for a little while breaking free, but Tanner Cadwallader has him all wrapped up. But again, it's a good place to start. Good field position for Drew Brown and the Red Blacks offense, because the job being done by that Ottawa defense here in this quarter. And Raquel Armstead, 14 carries, 91 yards. He had that big 31-yarder.
Well, I know that he'd like to add to that total right now, kill this clock, get better field position, at least get 3. To go up 8, forcing Winnipeg a score and 2-point convert, but ultimately you're looking for a put him away type of drive right here.
Armstead in the backfield now, a 1st and 10 at the 53, and looking over to Dominic Rhymes.
How about that open field tackle by Holm?
Holm coming right in and limiting the damage by Rhymes, as he does pick up a few yards though and gets it into the Bomber zone just across midfield down to the Winnipeg 53. A 2nd and long is coming up.
Yeah, he could travel a long way, one of the best in the league. And consistency, can run. You know, last week he was in the tail end of that long one from Tyson Philpott and couldn't catch up to him. And big time play for Montreal at home in Winnipeg Stadium. But at home, he can fly, and he showed it on that play.
2nd and 7 now. Brown in behind and nearly picked off. Terrell Bonds had a chance at it, and after that pass was a little bit behind the intended receivers. Bonds regrets not getting a better grip on that in coverage on Hardy. in the new corner. Nearly had a big play for Winnipeg's D.
You can't forget that it's raining. He threw that off his back foot. He was definitely behind him. Whew, Bonds was like, man, it could have been a difference maker right there.
So some passing plays for the Red Blacks as the rain keeps coming down. A beautiful punt, but it ends up in the end zone, and so that's one more on the board and a 6-point lead after a 55-yard punt by Leone, who was hoping he could just get that bounce out at the 1 or 2 yard line.
Not happy with that one. He took a penalty last time he was out there. He kicked one out of bounds over there. Richie Leone, one of the best in the league for years, last 7 years, and a tough go of it here tonight. That one got away from him too, Rob.
It did. He had won, albeit in a preseason game a couple of weeks ago, same sort of distance that just spun out perfectly down at the 1 and rolled out of bounds, and he's very good at it.
Yeah, but he's looking. He don't care about that one. He wanted that one, and just was off the mark a little bit. And you know, it's like that's a big time difference of almost 35, 40 yards field position.
Yeah, he'd rather have it in the regular season than the preseason, but we've seen some very accurate punting over the years from Richie Leone. 1st and 10 Bombers, though. You're right. Starting from their 40, and a nice catch, one hand, bringing it down is Dembski. And the completion there for Collaros, and good work by Dembski to get it up close to a 1st down near their 50.
Yeah, you may not be able to see it on your television, but I'm telling you, it's raining here, and he made that look pretty easy. One-hander coming over the middle, knowing that somebody's going to be eating his ribs. And thank you.
Timeout, Ottawa.
So in a 2nd and short, the Red Blacks call a timeout with their defense out there and Chris Strebler out there. Short yardage for Winnipeg.
3 minutes left in the ball game. You're down 6. It's been a tightly contested contest. Now Strebs is in the game on 2nd and short. Do you fake this one and go over the top? Take a freebie here? You think you're going to get it on 3rd and 1 if you don't make it?
Well, they'll do one more play before the official 3-minute warning. The rain coming down now. Thunderstorms are in the forecast. As said, they're trying to get this game done before the thunderstorms roll in. Rain coming down. Strebler. Wow, he didn't get much. He only needed about a foot. He just had to get it to the 50, so furthest advancement.
Wow.
See where they spot the football here, but he ran into a wall.
He did. It's like a big-time wall.
Yeah, just had to, you see the initial part, punching it over, enough for a 1st down. Bomber football. 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. They're down. Under 3 minutes to go now, and they're down 6 points, so they need a touchdown. Also a race against the clock in terms of the weather, because it's raining harder, and there's a real risk of lightning. And one just flashing now, so will they be able to get this game finished? Under the pressure, he steps up and he slides. But still more heat on him. The Red Blacks have done a good job at forcing his hand here in the 2nd half, especially. 23 career game-winning drives. Just a couple ahead of Mr. Dunnigan in his Hall of Fame career, and trying to get number 24 tonight. Needs a touchdown and an extra point.
This is what you work for as a quarterback, to be in this position to bring your team back and get a win.
2nd and 6, the Winnipeg 54. That is complete. That's Wheatfall, who had a big 76-yard reception earlier that led to a Bomber touchdown.
I love this, how he secures the ball, because he knows he can't go anywhere without it. And this is textbook, secures it. 2 hands into traffic, moving the sticks. Like what I see in a young man.
And players are coming off the field.
2:09 on the clock.
2:09 on the clock, and the players are heading to the dressing room.
Where do we go?
Lightning, and we've seen a couple of strikes. And more just the skies now had been in the forecast, and they were hoping to get this one in. There was a window that would be clear enough with a bit of rain coming down to get this game in. Not quite, and it's Of course, a critical 2:09 Winnipeg with the ball around midfield and trailing by 6 points.
1st and 10.
At the Ottawa 42.
I like that. I like my chances if I'm Zach Collaros, you know, but we saw in that last series of downs, we saw where Baron Miles' defense got aggressive and put some pressure on Zach, and good twist out in interior, and then Malden came in there and they forced the issue. And as a defender, sometimes I don't want to defend. I want to be offensive and go attack, and they did in that series.
They've been doing such a great job at that as well. I mean, this second half, ever since Winnipeg had taken the lead, Ottawa's defense, the amount of heat they were able to get in Collaros really helped shift this game back the Red Blacks' way, but something neither team can control, as you see fans leaving their seats as well, and that is the weather. I mean, we were that close to getting through this game without a weather delay, but who knows how long it'll be now. There have been several flashes of lightning just recently showing up in the skies here above TD Place in the nation's capital. All I can say in Kate Burness's first night back this season is, I'm sorry, KB. We'll send it to you, and this game is still going.
Thank you very much, Rod. You know what? This is the CFL, isn't it? We did.
Yeah, difficult situation for sure with this delay coming out, trying to make something happen right away.
A delay of 1 hour, and for Mike O'Shea and Bob Dice back on the field, let's reset you. Winnipeg driving, barely 2 minutes on the clock, 2:09. They have it down to the Ottawa 42. They're down by 6. They need a touchdown and a point after to win it. They need at least the touchdown to tie, and there's the thought for us overtime, as if we haven't had that already, but that's the state. And now the field, of course, sopping wet with all this rain coming down, but the lightning danger has gone, and so we resume. 30 seconds away from the start of this game, the resumption after the long weather delay. The Bombers looking for their first win of the season. This is their second game. They haven't started 0-2 since 2016. The Red Blacks haven't won their opener since 2021. This is their first game of the season. Their season opener, their home opener, and they won't forget this, especially if they can hang on, as we're about to resume play again on a 1st and 10 for Winnipeg. Lots of momentum swings in this game. At one point, the Bombers did lead by a point at 17-16 in the second half before Ottawa came back in a touchdown by Justin Hardy. Here we stand, 23-17. These two will decide it, beginning now from the Ottawa 42, and Zach Collaros, with time, completes it 2 down to the 30. That is Dalton Schoen, who's had a quiet night. One of the top receivers in the Canadian Football League, but a big catch there.
One of the most simplest plays in all of football. You run this in junior high, it curl flat, and Dalton Schoen just pushes Money Hunter out of his back pedal just enough to pick up an easy first down. Nice play, well executed, but very basic.
Still lots of time. 1.5 minutes to go. A 1st and 10 down at the Ottawa 30. Looking for the end zone. Collaros goes to the right. He's got a wide open receiver. It's Drew Wolodarski. And here comes Winnipeg inside the 10. A 1st and goal. 1:24 in the clock.
Wolodarski just going to do a little fly and die right over here, and everybody forgets about him watching. Just like, and just, he muscles it out there in the rain. Wolodarski down to the 7.
Drew Wolodarski, veteran wide receiver. Tobias Harris coming in, but he was open. It's down to the 7. Very quickly, starting a couple of plays earlier at the 42. Winnipeg trying to come out of this break, score the touchdown that could give them the victory. Collaros, end zone, no, a bit too far. That was for Carrick Wheatfall, who had a couple of big catches in this game, one for 76 yards as he's slow to get up, and a 2nd and goal coming up.
Wow, just a fade route, and he had him, and the ball, and watch this route, and this is impressive. They're going to the young man. Really done a nice job of doing anything with Money Hunter, just kind of outside release, and Hunter used the sidelines to his advantage. So Yeah. Going to have to work in that release to move the DB a little bit in order to have a chance to have the quarterback go your way often.
1 minute on the clock. 3-down ball here. It is 2nd and goal. Collaros and the Blue Bombers. Can they get the touchdown? Oh, knocked away by Damon Webb when it was heading for Dalton Schoen. A brilliant play by the Red Blacks defensive halfback, Damon Webb, coming in to save the day, at least for now, for Ottawa.
Right here, and then watch Webb close right on his heels. And game's on the line here, basically. You got to get there, sell out Superman.
Beautiful. What an amazing play by Webb. He's had a few big plays in this game, including a sack. But it's 3rd and goal, and the Bombers have one more chance to find the end zone. Collaros under the pressure, taken down. And a turnover on downs. And it is looking like the Ottawa REDBLACKS have hung on with 50 seconds to go. The REDBLACKS take over. Darius Pickett, the Ottawa defense, rising up when it mattered most.
Yeah, right here. And you're going to watch. I think Pickett gets in here too. Malden kind of forces it. Collaros is flush to him, and Malden gets right there and gets enough of his legs, and he's on the ground. Little twist game up front. I think Enoch talked about the importance of twisting and gaining leverage, and he saw it right there. And Malden comes up with the play of the game.
Lorenzo Malden, Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago for the REDBLACKS. What a spot there for Ottawa's defense that really had an excellent second half, 4th quarter. Getting pressure on Collaros. So Drew Brown and the REDBLACKS take over. 1st and 10 from their 11. Whistle blows. And 44 seconds left.
Timeout's been called.
We got Winnipeg using their timeout now.
So you're looking at 2nd and 5 here. Biggest play of Drew Brown's young career as a starting quarterback for the REDBLACKS. Right here, facing it, backed up, needs a 1st down to seal the game. Can he step up to the plate?
A 1st down would indeed wrap it up in Ottawa's season opener, this 10th season. What a night. It's been that much longer. Second down. And good work by Reddick Cramney to come in and make the tackle.
Yeah, relied on the big boys up front to move the pile and pick up the 1st down. It's going to have to punt this football away, and defense is going to be back to you. Baron Miles, what you got?
And who knows what could happen in these slick conditions. I mean, the lightning warning is over, but still lots of rain falling down to the field.
Yeah.
And we've seen it on special teams. Hey, you never know what can happen. What kind of explosive play can take place?
Well, just securing the snap here. If you're the punter and this punt team here, just getting a decent snap and getting it off in these conditions.
So Leone and the REDBLACKS to take that clock all the way down, under 10 seconds on the play clock. Leone standing down near his goal line.
Take this down back to 19, 20.
Gets the snap. He's going to give up the 2. He's going to give up the 2 because it still gives them a 4-point lead. So Winnipeg will get the ball with just seconds to go, but a field goal is still no good. They would still need a touchdown. So the safety is given up to make it a 23-19 game, Ottawa leading. And
love that decision by Coach Bobby Dice. Give up the 2, like you say, Rod, still a 4-point game. You don't put yourself in harm's way with a big return. Yeah. That's up.
So
Timer, please reset the game clock to 15 seconds. It's going to be 1st down for Winnipeg at their 40-yard line.
So they do get the ball in their hands again. Another chance for Collaros, but just 15 seconds to go. And they still, like the last time, need a touchdown.
Yeah. I like the situation from Zach Collaros a lot better before. On 3rd and goal from the 5, and as opposed to 1st and 10 on the 40 with 15 seconds. My goodness. Things have changed in a hurry here with great defensive play by the Red Blacks.
Ottawa just trying to hang on and win their opener. Start the season at 1-0. Bombers need a miracle. It's caught. 10 seconds on the clock, down closer. It's shown with it down around the 51 of the Red Blacks.
Yeah, see what Zach's got here. Going short, you got to start loud on it. If not, ball game, you got to chunk it.
Here we go. Wide open and just a bit behind Ontario Wilson as it falls incomplete.
Still 2 seconds on the clock, Rob.
So one more play.
Whew.
A long night's been made a little longer, hasn't it?
Yeah, you don't see these defenses very often.
Well, for one of these teams, and it's looking like Ottawa right now, the W would certainly help ease any pain or inconvenience from the delay. Here we go. Last play. Polaris gets away for a moment, is able to chuck it down the field near the goal line. All Red Blacks there. It's knocked away. Mother Nature messed with this game, but it did not decide it. The Ottawa Red Blacks did. An hour later, they come on, and their defense got it done as the Red Blacks start the season, number 10 in their history, with their first win of the year.
Taught to high point that and knock it down. And
Bob Dice, like he did against Winnipeg a year ago, can celebrate a dramatic victory. But this one took a little bit of a different turn, Matty, but Ottawa will certainly take it.
yeah, it did. Tough fought battle under these conditions. Winnipeg drops to 0-2, and Ottawa's out of the gate fresh with a 1-0 start with a new quarterback.
Drew Brown once